What's up, Spurs fans? Welcome back to another episode of GSG Nation, where we involve you, the Spurs fan. And this is being recorded Thursday. This is after the loss to the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday, in which we were in attendance. And we will be bringing you another fan interview and later on in this episode. But yeah, just quickly want to talk about that loss last night to the Grizzlies, 129 to 115. And, that was, another story of the tale of two halves. We come out hot, playing really well, and then that second half just coming out flat, lack of energy, and just another heartbreaking loss at home. But these are the growing pains that we're gonna go through this season as Spurs fans, and we're definitely seeing improvement, and we actually had some consistency last game from Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, both scoring again in the 20 plus range, and so that was good to see after that victory against the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's always a good win for us to get. But going back to last night's game against the Grizzlies, those two played well. Yeah, Stephon Castle had a really good game, and he actually, almost helped complete the comeback in the fourth. He was definitely leading the charge, but the team still fell short. And really that loss, it was just lack of energy coming out in that second half. You know, lack of defense, guys not finding their man. We're leaving shooters open from three. Luke Kennard being one, he's a shooter, and he took a couple of open threes, and of course he nailed those down. And a thing that we do have problems with is that transition defense when the other team's going on the run and pushing the ball. Sometimes we just have a hard time finding our man at the 3 point line because it always seems like we're playing a man down, and they always have somebody open at the 3 point line in the corner for that shot. So that's something that this team definitely has to work on. And that's just basketball IQ there. I don't think that we need to wait too long for us to figure that out. It's just basketball IQ and then putting in some effort. But I don't think that has to do anything with we need to give these guys more time. Like that defensive those defensive errors can be fixed right away too. Another reason I think that we lost last night too was we got out rebounded. Let me see the rebounds. We got ended the night with 44 rebounds compared to their 52. So they're getting a lot of second chance points, and one thing too that helped the Grizzlies win last night's game was their shooting. They shot the ball better than us in that second half. This all came from the second half because the Spurs went into the first half up. And we actually ended the first half with an incredible block by Wemby. I think it was on Zach Edey, right at the buzzer, man. And Wemby was hyped. He let out that loud roar right into the crowd and was just, man, everybody was hyped. All his fans, the stadium was loud. So we thought yo, we're winning this game going into half. The guys are playing well enough to win this one. And yeah, I mean, everybody at that point to the first half, everybody was playing well enough for us to pull out a victory. So, just us fans watching the game, we didn't expect our guys to come out so flat in that third quarter. And it looks like the Grizzlies actually scored 43 points in the third quarter. That's insane. But gotta give credit to them because yeah, their guys were hitting shots. Jaron freaking Jackson Jr. Was hitting threes. Could you believe that? He was hitting 3 pointers, and this man does not hit 3 pointers. But looking at the box score, Jaron Jackson Jr. only shot 2 of 8 from 3 point in last night's game. But the thing was those 3 pointers came in crucial times. Like that helped prevent us from going on runs, taking a further lead, and it helped the Grizzlies keep the momentum that they had. Another thing that killed us was missing free throws. Even though we shot free throws better than them, we shot 70% compared to their 67%. My gosh, I did not realize, but we got to the line 27 times. and we only made 19 of those, y'all. So to shoot 70% from the free throw line, and that's been in struggle in some games, not too many, I'd say, but from certain players though, for sure, like Devin Vassell, which I'm very surprised. I'm really surprised that Devin is shooting a low free throw percentage. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I have no clue what's going on there, but that's something that like that it's inexcusable. And if he's gonna be one of our better shooters, like why can't you make free throws? Um, he missed two free throws at a crucial time to help keep the momentum with the Spurs. And then Harrison Barnes, I think literally the sequence after that, he goes to the line and he misses two free throws at a crucial time that would help us um, either keep the lead or at least keep some momentum to prevent the Grizzlies from going on a deeper run. But so these are some of these things, the things that were the problem with last night's game and how it got away from us. Um, Keldon Johnson ending the night with 17 points. I think he played pretty good and good enough to, like I said earlier, help get us the win. There's time he brought spark off of the bench. Um, I think there were a couple of defensive breakdowns though on his end that yeah it's something that he still needs to work on this season. And I didn't know, but I heard earlier. I forgot where I heard this from, but um, so apparently like Chris Paul has been and no Harrison Barnes has been talking to Keldon Johnson about Keldon hanging on the rim too long after dunks and stuff like that, like just trying to that he needs to maybe focus more like on getting back on defense after these dunks and just not hanging on the rim so long because yeah, like when the other team sees that he's trying to hang on the rim, that puts fire into them, and they just want to move the ball quick and get back down on the floor. So and if he's hanging on the rim, he's just hanging back, and we're a man down, for a couple of seconds. So that's uh, something that I had heard today. I actually think that I heard that on Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia. I think I heard that on today's episode, Thursday's episode. But yeah, so that was interesting information there, and I totally agree with that. I love Keldon, and when he slams, like I always want him to dunk it. If he can, like go for the dunk. But yeah, just make sure like like no celebrations at this point, really, because we don't, we're not good enough to pull out these celebrations. So I'd say no celebrations and just get back on defense because that's something that we're constantly preaching that we need him to be better at it is defense. So we'll see where that goes going forward. But again, he did provide enough spark off of the bench for us to get the win. He shot 6 of 12 from the field, so that's good stuff right there. Um, you know, we're there's no quick fix to these problems, without making probably some roster changes. Like I feel like we're still needing a solid number two option. I thought Devin Vassell would solidify that role by now into the season. I know he's the injury and the delayed surgery and not being able to really have an off season has probably slowed his progress a little bit this season, sure. But I'm still surprised at some of the shots that he's missing, because these shots are open shots that he's missing. They're not difficult shots. So, besides that, he had a really two good games. So hopefully he can continue this and carry it on into Friday night's game against the Memphis Grizzlies, which is that rematch, and it's only the second matchup against the Grizzlies this season. We have 4 total for the season. But yeah, I'm really hoping that Devin Vassell can just build momentum from these 2 games because he's had 2 good games back to back, and let's see if he could get closer to becoming that number 2 option for us. And if he's not our number 2 option in the future, that's perfectly fine because he does have a role on this team, and he, going forward in the future, if we do keep him, I'd say we for sure have to get a solid number 2 option. But if we do keep him, he does have value. for the team. I know Wimby had a low scoring game, only scoring 13 points, but honestly though, if you were watching the game closely, he was very effective in last night's game, and he had 8 blocks, and I think the 8 blocks he had them in like the first half. It was crazy, and again, like one of my favorite plays of last night's game was just that block at the buzzer on Edie. Like it was incredible because Edie was really trying to make his presence felt early on into the game. And he even got a dunk on Wimby, but you could tell like he was trying to play very physical with Wimby early on to try to get him out of his groove. But the good thing is that Wimby did not get out of his groove. He was not um, he was not shocked. He wasn't taken aback. Wimby was aggressive on the defensive end, and he was constantly challenging Edie at the rim and Jaren Jackson as well. So, I know 13 points is low for him. When he shot 3 for 10 from the 3 point line. So that was pretty bad. And what can be fixed there is just he doesn't need to. Then in that case, the three's not falling. He's having an off night. It's understandable. It happens, right? If he's having an off night, yeah, let's get some better shot selections there. There were a couple of threes that he did take. We didn't need those, but he wasn't the only one that did that. And the threes too. Like I haven't had too big of a deal. I'm getting used to that. So I'm accepting it more and more that he's gonna shoot these threes. And honestly, for a guy his size, like I'm definitely okay with the deep three because if you look at it, he is hitting the deep three. He's never short. He's never like way off. Um, so those deep threes are within his range. And honestly, at the beginning, or in last season, his rookie season, he was shooting threes a lot closer to the line, and I actually thought that was making him miss more because a lot of times he was on target, but he was hitting the back of the rim, so they weren't going in. And I always was trying to say, just scoot back some more, just take another step back. I think that he clearly has the deep range, and I'm okay with keeping that in his repertoire. And I just think that he needs to have a better shot selection. Like go ahead and attack the rim a little bit more when you're having an off night from the three. That's totally okay. But again, um, I wouldn't say that it was just him alone not scoring enough that didn't get us the win because his defensive presence was felt in that first half, and we just didn't utilize that in the second half. And Memphis really just put their foot on the gas in that second half and just attacked the basket a lot, and then guys finally started hitting shots. So um, I'm not too worried about Wimby having an off night tonight, and I honestly think that he's going to come out very aggressive in Friday night's rematch with the Grizzlies. So I'm really excited about that. Harrison Barnes, he did his job, ending the night with 10 points, but still, like, he was pretty efficient except for those free throws. And it looks like the free throws, he ended the night 0 of 2. So those were those two important free throws I mentioned earlier that he missed that would have helped us keep momentum or, at least prevent them um, from gaining their momentum. But still efficient, veteran leadership, only had one turnover. So this guy was taking care of the ball. He had 5 rebounds, very active. So that's what I like to see. I think Harrison Barnes has been doing his part. I know he slumped after the winning Western Conference Player of the Week, or was it the week or the month? Um, Earlier on in this season, he slumped a little bit, but I think that he's kind of found himself a little bit more, and he's playing a good role. I think with Chris Paul, I think we're asking a little too much of him. Um, he's playing good for us as well, and he's scoring a lot of points, and um, you know I feel like he's having to take on more of the offensive load than I expected him to take on this season, which is, yeah. So that's something that surprised me so far, and I feel like with his offensive production, like we should be winning a little bit more of these games. Um, if because he's hitting clutch shots. That's the beautiful thing is like Chris Paul has been hitting clutch shots all season to keep us in these games. So, I mean, this team is like right there. We're on the cusp. And I think that that's probably the most frustrating part right now in these growing pains is that we see the high potential of this team, and like we're literally like right there to being like in the middle of the West, and competing with the top teams. Like we're pretty close. Personally, I do feel like maybe a couple more roster changes would help for next season, but we'll get into that later on, closer to the end of this season, because I know the trade deadline is approaching, but I don't feel like the team will make any major changes this season, and that's okay. Like again, like these guys are learning, and we want them to win at the same time. And like Chris Paul said earlier, it's learning while winning. This team is currently at 19-20. We're riding that 500 line. I do believe that we will be at 500 after tomorrow night's game. I feel that we, now that we know what these guys can bring, I don't really think that they're going to bring anything different at us. I think that our guys will adjust, and I think that we're going to have a W as the outcome for tomorrow's game. Thank y'all for joining me on today's episode. Be sure to keep up with GSG Nation on X at GSG Nation Talk, on Instagram at GSG Nation, and subscribe and like this episode on YouTube at GSG Nation. And we will be in attendance for the next game, January 31st. So that's where we will get more fan interviews. But yeah, this is the show that includes you, the fan. We go to the games, we interview the fans, and we get your voice out there, because there's no better opinion out there about our team than directly from the Spurs fan. That's what I'm talking about. So if you have a chance to get last minute tickets to tomorrow night's game, the rematch against the Grizzlies, I read that they're going to honor the Spurs lady at halftime. So if you can snag some last minute tickets, it would be a special game to go to. It is also being nationally televised, so we will see how the boys do. I know those national television games make fans worried, but I'm feeling good about tomorrow night's game. I'm feeling good about this. I think the guys will perform. We performed well on Christmas, even though we didn't get the W, but we weren't embarrassed, and we did good. So I think our boys will do us proud tomorrow night on national television. But all right, fans, let's get into the fan interview of the night. Go Spurs, go.
All right, Spurs fans, we're here for the Memphis Grizzlies game. It is halftime. The Spurs are up 63-51. With me just got a nasty block on Edie to end the first half, and I'm with our first fan of the night, Wes. Wes, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. We're playing defense. We're jumping out. You know what I'm saying? We're balling.
Yeah, man, we are balling tonight, and I love it. This is good basketball, coming off a great win against the Los Angeles Lakers. Did you happen to catch that game?
Yeah, man. I caught some, and I was surprised, man. I was surprised.
Tell me about it, man. What were your thoughts on that?
Man, I was glad. I love the way we played defense, man. We were relentless on the boards. I love the way Castle stepped up. Man, it was just an all-around good performance by the team.
Yeah, it was a great all-around performance from the team. Definitely a team win, baby. And Wes, tell me, what are your thoughts on the team so far this season?
Man, I like the way that we're mixing in our young guys with our veterans. I love the addition of Harrison Barnes and Chris Paul. They bring that veteran leadership to the team, as well as our rookie, man, Castle, man. Castle's coming along. I love the nickname Area 51. I love the Area 51, Castle, Wemby, baby. Aliens.
Yes, Spurs fans, we definitely got to keep that up. We got to stick with Area 51 because it's sticking, and we all love it for sure. Wes, what do you think this team needs in order to take the next step?
We need one more co-star, man. We need one more co-star. If we just go out and get one more star, one more scorer to go next to Wemby, man. One more. I'm like, I don't want to go out there and say, man, we need a Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
We need a Brandon Ingram or somebody like that come in 3-and-D, somebody that can take the load off Wemby.
Yes. Absolutely. So that brings me actually to my next question. Yeah. So you're saying that we still need a number 2 option?
We need a number 2 option, and we need a solid second big man.
Yes.
A solid second big man.
Those are great observations, great points that a lot of Spurs fans have also agreed with. They've stated that before too. I think that's we need a number 2, man. You know, I love Devin Vassell and what he can bring, but
we need more from him.
Right? Tell me, like, what are your thoughts on his play this season?
It's been sporadic. It's been sporadic. It's been up. It's been down. But we need him to be steady. We need him to be our solid second guy.
Right?
You know, that's what we need from him. But, you know, if we can't get that from him, we need to bring somebody in that can be.
Yeah.
And then maybe he can shift to that Ginobili role, that third man, you know? But we need a solid second guy every night to go by, because we know what Wemby's going to bring to the table.
Yes, absolutely. We know. And, you know, like, Wemby he'll go hot in the first half, and nobody else wants to join along in the ride, you know? So you're right. I think we're still looking for our number 2. I thought Devin could be it, but he hasn't really shown me that this season. So
he can do it. He's like you said, he's shown flashes of it, man. But we need consistency. We need consistency if we're gonna grow. I mean, we got to string together performances, you know.
Yeah, right.
We beat the Lakers. We need to put out a strong performance tonight and keep stringing things together.
Yes.
Because we're so close. We're on the cusp, man.
We're so close. This team has so much potential. And the thing is, I think what's most frustrating is that the close games that we're losing, it's not because we're really getting beat. We're beating ourselves in some of these games. And I think what's most frustrating is just that we see the potential and that we're right there. Like you said, we're on the cusp of just breaking out. So the league, you know, watch out, because the Spurs are coming. We definitely are coming.
We're coming.
Tell us, what do you think of Mitch Johnson's job so far? How's he been doing?
I love the way that he stepped in. The young guys have responded to him, and the veterans respect him. And as a coach, that's what you need. You know, you need your veterans to respect you and your young guys to listen. And I think he's been doing a good job filling in for Pop amicably. You know, I really love the way that he stepped in and filled. I hope he keeps it long term. Best of wishes for Pop.
Yeah.
I mean, the best. I hope he gets better in his endeavors. I hope he comes back. But if he doesn't, we're in good hands with Mitch.
Okay. All right. And yeah, I know we were talking earlier, and you were saying, you know, just Pop. Maybe time to go and enjoy life. You've brought us 5 championships. I think that's enough, right, for somebody.
You look up in the Raptors and you see what he's done. You know, you see some of our Hall of Famers. Pop has coached them. You know, it's time for you to go up there, Pop. You know, it's time for you to go to the Raptors too, man. We love you. But if you come back, welcome back. But if you don't, best of wishes, man. We love you.
Best of wishes, Pop. You heard that. We love you, man. As Spurs fans, all of us love you. And so, Wes, tell us, what are the win predictions this season? Do you have a total number yet?
I'm hoping we're right there at that 30, that high 30, low 40.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping.
And this season, do you think we could be a play-in or playoff team?
That's what I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping we're a play-in, at least in the mix for a play-in spot. I'm an optimistic guy. You know, like I want us to do the best. I want us to bring a chip this year. Yeah. But I'm also optimistic. We're growing what we're growing, and I love the talent that we got. We're a couple picks away.
Yeah, just a couple picks away, and tell us about the growth of this team. You've definitely seen growth, especially since from last season.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of growth, man, especially on the way that we finishing games. We've won games that last year we would have lost. You know, like especially with the Lakers game, we would have lost that game last year, but we managed to pull it out. A couple, even against the Minnesota, the Timberwolves this year. I was here for that game, and I watched us pull that out. You know, I just love the fight that they're putting in this year. They're putting in a lot of effort. I just love the way the team is pulling together and rallying behind each other.
Yeah, you know, and then obviously you have the veteran leadership, Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. That's been helping, keep us close in these games and really show these guys that, hey, it's hard to win in this league. And it's a full 48-minute game, and you got to play hard for the full 48 minutes. I think
Champagne's stepping into his role, really embracing his role this year, man, and being comfortable in it. I see that too.
Yeah,
I see that too.
Would you prefer Champagne to be in the starting lineup or come off the bench?
As of right now, I want him to come off the bench right now. We need that spark off the bench, man.
Me too.
When our starters are tired, we need that spark. And he brings that.
He brings that. And I was saying too, last year having him start was asking more than what we were going to ask of him. And his shooting numbers have actually been better coming off the bench. So I think he's excelling in that role, and it's good for him, man. It's good for us.
It is. It's good all around, man. And he's a smart guy. He comes in, he plays his role. He's not selfish. He takes the shots that he needs to take, and he passes the ball when it needs to be passed.
Yes, yeah. He's not doing too much, man. He knows his role. And we're trying to let him play that this season. Can you tell me, what are your thoughts about Jeremy Sohan's play this season?
I want to see more Sohan, man. I honestly thought Sohan could be that 2A, 2B guy. Hey, AstroTurf, man, we need you to show up, bro. AstroTurf, we need you to show up.
Man, I haven't heard that one. That's hilarious. But yeah, Sohan, being a fan favorite, he's moved into another different role this season after that point guard experience last year. I think he's been doing fine for us this season, and I think that he can play well alongside Wembanyama too. What do you think?
I honestly, he's an integral part. He's part of our core. Him, Wemby, and Vassell are our core.
Yep.
I guess we get to see more of him healthy. We always play better when AstroTurf is out there.
Yeah, I know, right? And he's our point of attack on defense, and he's one of our best defenders, if not the best after Wemby. So
he's our second best defender,
right? Like,
he really is. He's
plain and simple. Stephon Castle, what are your thoughts on him this season?
I love what the rookie has brought. I love it, man. To me, I don't want to bring up ghosts of the past, but he reminds me of a young DeJounte, but bigger.
Yes,
but bigger and more ready for his role, And plus, that 5 looks better on Castle.
And it does look better on Castle. You're right, yeah. And do you think that do you have faith that he'll get a jump shot? Maybe in the off season, or at least
it'll develop in time. It'll develop in time, just like with anything. It'll come with practice makes perfect, and he has a perfect teammate to go with him. Wemby's gonna challenge him. Wemby's gonna challenge him to be great.
Yes, I agree.
We need that true point guard to pass on after Chris.
Yes,
Chris is our bridge guy.
And I think Stephon Castle could be our point guard of the future for sure.
I think he is our point guard of the future.
Right?
I do.
And I want him to keep driving the ball, I know he's not getting the calls this season because he's a rookie, but that's invaluable, man. When you can just continue to attack the basket, that hurts teams, especially nowadays in this league. So I want him to continue to do that. Tell us about Chris Paul.
I just love the veteran leadership that he's brought. He's brought a steady hand. It's not. We know what we're gonna get from Chris every night. He's gonna give us 8+ assists. He's gonna chip in. He's gonna chip in his points. He's gonna take his shots when needed and not turn the ball over.
And would you confidently say, there's no rush right now to win now? We're still young.
No, we're still young, and man. If you look around the league, our average age on our team is 24. We're one of the youngest teams in the league,
Yeah.
So, we just got to grow with that, embrace that, and grow with it.
Yeah, and I know people are concerned. Well, we don't know how long Wembanyama will stay. We don't know how healthy he'll stay, how long he'll last. But, hey,
Wemby's built for this, man. He grew up wearing a Tony Parker jersey in France. He's always wanted to be here. He's wanted to be one of us. I
know.
He's embraced the community. He embraced San Antonio. He's always wanted to be a Spur. We just got to support him as an organization and put things around him for him to want to stay.
Very well said. I love that. And last questions here. What are your thoughts on the Paris games? Are you excited about those? The games in Paris?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited next year, man. To see Wemby at home in his environment, comfortable. Hopefully Tony makes the trip to accompany him. I'm excited for that, man. I'll definitely tune in and watch that.
All right, let's turn France into San Antonio Spurs fans again,
exactly,
man. Let's
keep
it. Wave that flag over there.
Let's grow the brand, man. Spurs everywhere.
Everywhere. Well, folks, this is Wild West. He's our first Spurs fan of the night. Can I get a Go Spurs Go?
Go Spurs Go from Wild West.